How did Fathers for Justice start? Where did it come from?
Introduced Fathers for Justice to South Africa in 2003, early 2004.
The specific moment in your life where you realized the system is broken. I'm not going to beat the system.
To hear that my child is leaving anyway with her mother to the Eastern Cape.
What reactions do you get, especially from women, when you say you help fathers' rights?
I can tell immediately those women that are giving their exes.
What is it like for a father to wake up one day, and you deal with a lot of fathers, and realize he's been legally erased from his kids' lives?
Constitutionally, legally, and financially.
How often does maintenance get used as a weapon?
99.99% of the time.
Should there be penalties for false maintenance claims or financial manipulation?
What is the average cost? 50% for mom, 50% to dad.
What actually happens to fathers who generally can't afford it? Is there any empathy in the system?
They could give less than a shit.
Welcome back to South Africa's #1 health and wellness podcast, The Endure Edge. Today's guest runs an NPO called Fathers for Justice. I've never met a man who doesn't want to protect his family and be treated fairly. Fathers aren't treated fairly after divorce. And I've got Gary Da Silva with me today to discuss this topic that is not spoken about, but we're going to speak about it today.
Thanks, Jacques.
Thanks for coming.
No worries. Good to be here.
Yeah,
Cool studio.
thank you. Yeah,
Very
thank you.
professional.
No, awesome.
Yeah.
So, give us a little bit of your story. How did Fathers for Justice start? Where did it come from?
Okay, so Fathers for Justice originated out of Britain, and it was all around the time that Dr. Stephen Pretorius and Dr. Botha, who started Fathers for Justice South Africa, introduced Fathers for Justice to South Africa in circa late 2003, early 2004. I had a beautiful child with a wonderful woman. Obviously, that all went to the war, and I was looking for information. Okay, and I joined circa August, September of around about 2004 to find out what was going on and what were my rights, etc., etc. Back in 2004, it was a very different world. Okay. Fathers were treated worse than garbage then. They still treated like garbage today, but it was horrific. The way fathers would just go to court and get slaughtered. There's no other way to describe it. My then erstwhile attorney advised me to read the Fathers Out of Wedlock Act, which was still in effect, and to read the new 2005 Children's Act 38 of 2005. I read both of those documents and I said, okay, well, this is going to be fine. Mommy's got rights and responsibilities. I have rights and responsibilities. The child has rights. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. It couldn't be further from the truth. Just because it's written doesn't make it so. I joined as an ordinary member, like I said, circa 2004, and I struggled because I was completely traumatized by all of this. I struggled to remember when I became public relations officer. I took over from Dr. Asif Suleiman, who tragically passed away a couple of years ago. And I became public relations officer. I think it was around about 2006. I stand under correction. And I did that until 2019 when Dr. Pretorius offered me the chairmanship for Fathers for Justice. So I've been doing this since 2019. And I have railed against the injustice of what goes on here. I took it upon myself to speak to enough fathers that to make 50-50 the standard by which we all depart. And we started seeing those started coming through around 2019. It tapered off when the big scam was around in 2020 to 22.
The big C.
The big scam, the C, capital C. And we are now seeing fathers that are getting 50-50 as a standard. And I go to court quite regularly, and I speak to dads, and they don't know who I am, and I say, how are you, how's things? No, I've got 50-50. So it's nice to see that even that the 50-50 is now pulling through. What it's proven to me is that you can actually change the law by just being consistent in your message. So now I'm doubling down. Nothing less than 50-50 contact care, guardianship, and maintenance from birth, irrelevant and irrespective of marital status or lack thereof, culture, tradition, religion, or other norms and practices. We are saying that 50-50 must be the point from which we all depart. If there are issues, those need to be raised in a proper forum. I do not believe the justice system is the correct forum to be handling this. It's like going to a mechanic and saying, please, can you perform brain surgery? It needs delicacy and finesse. The legal justice system by default requires a winner and a loser. The moment you step into a lawyer's office, your child has already lost.
Yes.
So, and that has to change. You can't consistently blame fathers for the lack of participation when you actively seek out to destroy them.
And I'm going to dive deeply more into this whole 50-50 thing that you speak about, etc. I just wanted to get your background a little bit more, and you gave me a lot of it. The specific moment in your life where you realized the system is broken, I'm not going to beat the system. What was that specific moment?
So I put down 100,000 Rand in my lawyer's account, and I walked into the appointed advocate's office. Jacques, if I was there for 10 minutes, it was long. To hear that my child is leaving anyway with her mother to the Eastern Cape. Yeah. And, and then subsequently I had, I got married years later. I have 4 daughters total. And we had 2 daughters. I had 2 daughters with my ex-wife. And I went, I'd been dealing with a lot of fathers, and this one guy, his wife, had been helping him fight, and she fought so hard that she actually became a lawyer herself.
Wow.
And I spoke to her, and she said, because back then, the tender age rule and the maternal preference rule was still being violently forced down fathers' throats. She said, Gary, you're going to put down 300K, and they're going to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money that you spend. The fact, what nobody realized about this is that my record last year was a father had spent 20 million Rand, and he still didn't have contact with his children.
Wow. In this country?
In this country. The average divorce, for those that can afford it, and I use that afford very loosely, the average divorce is costing between 1 and 5 million Rand over a 5 to 8 year period for the father to walk away same as or worse off than what he started out. You may as well not have bothered to begin the process. So that was my realization that I dumped 100K.
And you got nothing for it.
So if you want to look at the business models that are out there insofar as in relation to the family law system, so you obviously have retail, wholesale, lease to pay as you go, etc. The only business model that fits the legal justice system in South Africa is that of a con job. Nowhere do you pay such pornographic amounts of money to get zero.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
It is a complete and utter scam. How is it possible? You know, I mean, like, you take a look at it. R1 million is R1 million in still in today's world, okay? You can go and buy yourself a relatively good little flat or duplex in a relatively good area.
Yeah.
And what are you doing with that money? That money could be going towards your maintenance. What is the single biggest thing that that women always cry about?
Money.
Maintenance.
Money.
I mean, yeah.
I don't want to call it maintenance because it's money.
Yeah.
Because, we're going to dive deep into that word
Yeah,
too. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So hold those feelings in for now.
Me being straight?
No, please. What reactions do you get from people when you're at a bar or at a restaurant or at a party, whatever, and you say, I help fathers? What reactions do you get, especially from women? When you say you help fathers' rights,
I can tell immediately those women that are giving their exes a hard time because they disappear. And it's generally, and I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but it's generally admiration.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Yeah. But one of the things that I have learned to observe people. And the other thing is that, and it's very difficult for me because I do like talking, but I have learned to shut up and watch. And and it's generally, and I mean, like, look, just as much as you get bad mothers, you get bad fathers out there. And I mean,
For sure.
and the thing is that sadly we get, I mean, you get fathers that are completely naive. They don't know what the hell they've entered into. And I think I was one of those fathers.
Yeah.
If I take a back look, and let me try and say that again. If I take a look back at where I came from, I naively believed that if I've got a legal problem, I go to a lawyer and he or she will sort it out to me.
Which all of us do.
Yeah. And similarly, if I've got a psychological problem, I go to a psychologist to help me out. I would rather throw myself into the pits of hell than approach any one of those two professions. They are a bastardized. Both of them are a bastardized industry. I specifically refer to lawyers, advocates, psychologists, social welfare workers as part of the child abusing divorce industry because that is what it is.
Yeah.
Why am I going to? Why is it taking so long? And I want to put this in perspective for you. When I came in, I get approached by lawyers and advocates and social workers, etc., on a daily basis. And they've actually stopped asking me because I've made it known. Okay. But I was being approached on a daily basis by lawyers, advocates, and psychologists. And they would come in and they would handle the first case perfectly. And I'm getting dads in all day. So what am I doing? I'm throwing them over my shoulder. A week later, I've got 200 oaks standing outside my front door trying to, nail me to a barn door and set it alight.
Yeah.
Because this lawyer or psychologist has taken 20, 30, 100K and disappeared to the Cayman Islands, and they're not getting value for what it is that they're costing. So I took a strategic decision in 2019 that we will not refer fathers or mothers, for that matter, to lawyers, advocates, psychologists, or social welfare workers. If you ever wanted an example of the Chinese definition of madness, it is the legal justice system in South Africa. Because you're attempting to sort the matter out, and you're getting, you're trying different lawyers, different advocates, but you're consistently getting the same result.
Yeah.
And so I got contacted by a guy that heads up our litigation department. So we do have a full-blown mediation and litigation department as Fathers for Justice. And I got approached. It was probably February, March of 2022. And he said to me, give me one case. And he's been handling our cases since then. Okay. So do we take on every case? No, we don't. We are very acerbic. We're very direct. Either we can help you or we can't. We are not here to perpetuate the abuse. Okay. If we turn around and say to you, we can't help you, understand, you can run around and tell everybody what arseholes Fathers for Justice is. C'est la vie. You
Yeah.
know, it's water. It's
We
water.
can't make everyone happy.
You can't make everyone happy. And you've also got to understand, you know, like we have Spar and ShopRite and Checkers and Woolworths, you know, different courses for horses, you know.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that we are averaging between 6 weeks and 4 to 6 months with the average case. Okay, the average case for us, the guy's been in the system 5-10 years, spending anything between 1 and 2 million rand. Okay, that's the average case for us. We are taking those cases within 6 weeks to 4 to 6 months. We are solving those cases, getting him, the children, and mommy out of the system because they shouldn't have been there in the first
place. Yeah.
Are there exceptions to the rule? Yes, absolutely, 1 trillion%. Yes, there is. I can speak to a dad that's been in the system 15 years, spent 10 million rand, 7 lawyers. 5 minutes later, I've solved his case and he's on his way. I can speak to the very next father that hasn't even left the house yet. And because of all the shenanigans that is going on, it's an 18-month investigation. So we do have the exceptions. I'm not here to try and paint a...
No, every case is different.
Yeah.
There's different things happening in the families, etc., whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we are very, very effective. We do. So I specifically push mediation. We have written to the Law Reform Commission. We have said to the Law Reform Commission that mediation must be automatically mandatory. So no alternative. And that must be concluded within 90 days. This nonsense of 5-10 years, you know, I mean, like, you know, through us to put an example in, through us to get divorced and put your maintenance and parenting plan together and get it endorsed by the Family Advocate's Office and have it signed off is 36K versus R1 million, 200,000 rand just for maintenance.
No, it's crazy.
It's stupid. It's stupid. And you're not, and the point I want to make out is that you are not getting bang for your buck. Spending more money is not advancing your case. It's not speeding up your case. It's not taking your case to resolution.
No matter what any attorney tells you.
No matter what any attorney tells you. And that, So with our litigation, let me just finish this point. So through our litigation department, we will attempt mediation as a first point of departure. So mommy can either sit down and behave in an adult way, or guess what? We just unleash the hounds of hell. So with us, we come down, we develop a strategic plan with objectives to get you and the family, including mommy, out of the legal justice system as effectively, efficiently, and cost efficiently as possible in the shortest period of time.
And also so everyone can move on with their lives. Because the quicker you move on their lives, the better it is for the kids that are involved. That's how simple it is.
Yeah.
So we talk about equality, okay? And we've obviously come to the consensus between me and you that the parenting system, there's no such thing.
No.
Okay, the scales aren't balanced.
No.
What is it like for a father to wake up one day, and you deal with a lot of fathers, and realize he's been legally erased from his kids' lives?
Constitutionally, legally, and financially erased. Jock, I've had hulking giant men that could crush skulls with their pinky collapse in front of me, break down in absolute buckets of tears. It's soul destroying. And for me, the thing is that, you know, you can run around and say, oh, look at all these deadbeat dads. The fact that the true genuine definition of a deadbeat dad in any given population sits at about 6 or 7% of any given population. So we acknowledge it. We're not going to deny that they're not deadbeat dads. But for the vast majority of fathers, I've watched fathers. One guy had Ferraris up his yin yang. He had helicopters, a house in Cape Town, a gang farm over there. Lose everything because in his desperate attempt to be part of his children's lives. Okay, the thing about I was speaking about African or black fathers in South Africa. Okay. specifically your unmarried fathers, your single fathers. And, you know, the interviewers, I can't remember her specific words, but basically, no, the vast majority of black fathers are deadbeat. So I said to her, well, then we are talking to two different demographics, because the vast majority of fathers that phone me are black or African fathers.
And they're phoning for the help.
They're phoning me for the help.
They can't be that deadbeat.
So my experience of those fathers generally, okay, is that they are uneducated. Okay, they do not know, they do not understand the legal justice system. They are in a worse off position than the vast majority of other race groups in South Africa. They are generally low income or laborers, okay? And they don't have hundreds of thousands of rands arbitrarily standing around. And what normally happens in your African family, mommy gets in the car, she takes the kids down to Butterworth or to Swaziland or whatever the case may be, and that dad is done. But that you want to turn around and say, oh, look at all these deadbeat dads. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
Yeah, and also, I also think there comes a stage in a dad's life where he actually just gives up, where he's tried everything, but the mom has poisoned the child's mind. Okay, and I'm talking from experience. I've got a friend who the mom has actually poisoned this child's mind. This child is now 12 years old. And I've seen the message where the dad's trying to reach out to the child on WhatsApp, and the child goes, go fuck yourself. And says that to the dad. Fuck off. I don't want to talk to you.
So you're talking about parental alienation.
Yeah. So now the mom and the dad's actually had to take a step back and go, I'm not going to do this anymore. He actually talks to the stepdad more than what he tries to talk to the child to find out what's going on in the child's life, because he's actually, it's hard for him. You know what I'm trying to say? So like he's almost given up and said, maybe one day I'll be able to go back and say, listen, dad didn't do this. Dad didn't do this. This is what's happened or whatever.
So,
but people will look at him and go, he's a deadbeat dad because he's not seeing his child.
Okay,
but
so let's look at the facts. Okay, 50%. So this is research out of the States. Okay, 50% of mothers see no value in the father's continued relationship with the child post-divorce or separation. 40% of mothers have said that they've actively interfered in the relationship between the father and the child. There was when it comes to domestic violence, there was research that was done in Britain that they said that 83% of all domestic violence is instigated by the woman. Okay, 52% of all protection orders issued in South Africa are based on false, fake, or non-existent evidence. Justice insiders that I've spoken to say to me that figure is way north. And by way north, I mean way north.
Yeah.
Okay, or 52%. 85 to 90% of parental alienation in South Africa is perpetrated by mothers. And that came from Dr. Pinky du Toit of the Sinnerville Center. So, it was admitted by, in responding affidavit in the Van Ginkel Low et al. Case in circa 2009-10 to the Equality Court. In the responding affidavit by the Family Advocate's Office, they admitted that in 91% of the cases, the children were automatically awarded to the mother. That was reaffirmed by the erstwhile Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Sisulu, that it was 92% of cases the children were automatically awarded to the mother. So yet you went around and, oh, look at all these bad fathers.
Yeah.
Then I go into a justice system that is completely violently feminist, feminazi-based feminists, gynocentric, misandrist, designed to specifically destroy you. And with specific reference to the Family Advocate's Office, you're already having a problem with the mother gatekeeping the child from you. So now we, as Fathers for Justice, we did responses around the country. We did both oral and written representation, because in 2019, about October of 2019, there was a request for comment on the Children's Act. Okay. We did all of those representations. We have repeatedly offered our assistance to the Department of Social Development to come and sit there and advise them. Okay. The silence is deafening.
I was going to say, yeah.
The new Minister of Social Development, who is already sitting in a cloud of what do you call it, malfeasance in her department. Okay, she comes out of the Department of Everything But Men. Sorry, I mean the Department of Women, Youth, and Persons with Disabilities. So that department is a woke, DEI, communist, socialist, Marxist, Nazi-based, fascist department that was trained by Canada. Look at the mess of the family law system in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it's a mess.
No, it's a complete, I mean, like Canada is, as generally speaking, has gone to the dogs, okay, along with Britain. But the basic premise is that you come, and I mean, like I've now been invited to go and present to a DEI program in Cape Town. I would rather nail my nipples to a burning barn door than go and
I love that.
than speak to a whole lot of woke communist DEI victims.
For sure.
Take your garbage and shove it. So now I spoke to Bridget Masongo, who is the portfolio committee chair of the Department of Social Development for the changes around the Children's Act at the beginning of last year. And then after she was reappointed after the elections, I sent her another letter and I said, congratulations, please. When can we talk? Gary, we're fully aware of the plight of fathers. We will get back to you. I'm still trying to peel myself off the wall from the rage because we got a letter, we got a thing from, you get like a government updates.
Yes.
This one page, I think it's 3 pages. There's and basically they want to give the Family Advocate's Office more power to determine whether the father should be present in the child's life or not. So mommy's already gatekeeping. She's already got the entire justice system. Now they want to give the Family Advocate's Office more power to remove fathers out of children's lives. Yeah. And the other thing that they want to do is that they want to reinstate the payment of damages under customary law for black fathers.
Wow.
Isondolo, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Isondolo, or damages under customary law, is unconstitutional. It is racist. It is gender biased, because you are now taking one section of the population. You're saying to them they now have to comply with additional legal and financial commitments in excess of other race groups in South Africa. And I'm saying you either got to make paying damages or isndolo under customary law, compulsory for all race groups in South Africa, or nobody. You can't have it. It is unconstitutional. And what do they want to do? They want to institute it. What is the single biggest problem that we have is that fathers that have children out of wedlock, and yeah, if you have a look at it, so your royal families in South Africa, your royal black families in South Africa, they generally have a book and what was paid, who was present, blah, blah, yes. Fish-based. But as for the rest, how much do you owe? Now I'll speak to a dad. How much do you owe? How much do you pay? How much do you have to pay? No, it's 10,000 rand. You speak to the maternal grandfather? No, it's 100,000 rand, or it's 20 cows, or it's a car, or it's a...
Yeah, there's no standard.
There's no standard. There's no... And, now you've damaged my daughter, and she's cost us so much to put her through university. Now you've got to pay us back for that, etc., etc. Yeah. So, and then that child has been removed to who knows where, into Kai or wherever in South Africa. Daddy's here in Johannesburg, or he's in Cape Town. He's working, he's grafting. He doesn't have the hundreds of thousands. And I mean, like, that's the other thing, is the jurisdiction of the child. The jurisdiction of the court case follows the address of the child, which is complete and utter
Yeah, how does he get to East London to a court case or wherever, Cape Town, wherever
You know,
it
we're
might
living
be?
in the 21st century. Teams and Zoom work very, very well. Thank you very much.
That's the one good thing COVID gave us.
Yeah, no, and we all learned. I mean,
Yeah, we had
all
no choice.
We
Yeah,
had no choice. You know, suck it up, buttercup, and start learning.
for sure.
So, yeah, I'm saying this nonsense, and I mean, like, you know, yeah, the removal of a child to another town, province, or country. That must be considered kidnapping, unless I have given my permission where I
Written
haven't
consent.
written consent, where I haven't been bullied or coerced.
Yes.
Only then can the child, and I'm saying that not even the Constitutional Court has a right to overturn that. It is my God-given right to have a relationship with my child.
Yeah. What does that do to a child long term? Growing up without a dad who actually wanted to be there.
Jacques, pick a subject: underage teenage pregnancy, drug abuse, failing in school, mental and psychological problems, health problems, overweight problems, eating disorders, anorexia, gangsterism, violence, abuse. Pick a subject. It all comes back to the absent father. The absent father was deliberate, it was malicious, it was orchestrated by the feminazis, and it was picked up by the communists. And between the communists and the feminazis, the destruction of the family unit was paramount. And if you have a look at was feminism a necessary thing? My research tells me that there was a time in the 50s and 60s where we needed to sort of like level the playing field. But it has been taken, bastardized, and turned into a Satanist worshipping garbage pit. If you take a look at all the problems that women are suffering today, I mean, like, in excess of 60% of Western women have a mental disorder. We're talking in certain instances that 80% of the female population are on some form of depressant.
Yeah.
You go and have a look at young girls that have watched their mothers being destroyed. You have a look at your 20, 30 something female coming out, okay? There's these girls, they call them trad girls, traditional girls, okay? Want a husband, want to stay at home, raise kids, feed daddy, blah, blah, fish paste. That's on the rise. The scary thing that has happened is that men have turned around and said, I am not prepared to lose 50 or 100% of my assets, my income, my home because if you have a look at it from a financial point of view, marriage for women in this day and age is the best thing. It is the quickest and easiest way for her to accumulate wealth. Marriage today for any man in South Africa, or the world for that matter, marriage is the worst financial and legal decision that you can make. And if you take it a step further with the new Domestic Violence Act that the woke DEI garbage brigade have come in, let me be very clear here, because I don't want the feminazis coming out and saying anything about this. That any form of abuse perpetrated by anybody against anybody is fundamentally, inherently abhorrent and must be condemned to the fullest extent of the possibility. And
no matter what sex. Simple.
Irrelevant. Sex has, and this whole thing around GBV is garbage. Are women and children abused in South Africa? Yes, they are. They make up the statistics from last year, July. I must go and read again. The statistics in July of last year said to us that 28.9% of violence abuse in South Africa was perpetrated against women and children. What about the other 70.1% of the population. Who those oaks? Are they aliens?
Yeah.
Are they crocodiles?
No one's talking about that.
Nobody talks about that. So this whole garbage, this woke communist DEI program of GBV, there is no such thing, and I want to be very clear about this. There is no such thing as GBV. It is human-based violence. Any form of violence perpetrated against anybody, by anybody, is wrong. The new woke DEI garbage Domestic Violence Act is specifically designed to catch the broadest spectrum of males and destroy their constitutional, legal, and financial rights, and with the objective to put the vast majority of them in prison. That is the objective.
Yeah.
And so for a man to get involved with a woman on any level, whether it be business, friendship, romantic, on any level, you're mad. And what is happening across the Western world where they've got this woke DEI garbage? You are looking at 50% of the female population by the time they're 40 will not have been married and or have children. 50%. What is the problem that we have with the world? Declining population. Contrary to what the woke DEI arseholes from the UN and WHO and all of those garbage entities. So the bottom line is that for a man to be involved with a woman on any level in this day and age, it is the worst legal, financial, and constitutional decision that you can make in your life.
Yeah.
But there's no other way to describe it. Why would you go?
I'm giggling because no man will see it like that. Like when we got our blinkers on.
No, listen,
You know,
but I
as
mean,
you
like,
know.
but I make no bones about it. I'm the worst of the worst. Do I love women? Do I enjoy women? I love them with all their soft, jiggly bits and beautiful eyes, and you know, and those sweet, soft spots. But it is.
With regards to law, it's a crazy.
With regards to the Constitution, the law, and finances, it is the worst decision that you can make as a man in South Africa today.
Yeah. And that's actually so sad, to be honest. I want to get on to maintenance, money, and control. They say it's about the children's needs, but most of the time it feels like punishment. How often does maintenance get used as a weapon instead of a responsibility?
99.99% of the time. So let me put it in perspective for you. Where a father has 50-50 contact care, guardianship, and maintenance, the responsibility...
Okay, let me just interrupt you quickly for 2 seconds. Okay. So we go to court, it says 50-50 on the maintenance. Okay, 90%, and tell me if I'm wrong, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking from my experiences in
Correct,
my
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And what I've heard from friends.
Yeah.
Okay, 90% of the time, the dad gets to see his kid every second weekend.
Which is bullshit.
Okay, I agree with you. But the dad gets to see the kids every second weekend and once in the week, which is also a lot of crap because it throws off the kid and their schooling and everything that one night a week that you get to see your kid.
Yeah.
And most of the time the kids don't even sleep over. They got to go back to the mom on that Wednesday night.
Yeah, because you were brilliant up until you got divorced or separated, but now all of a sudden you're some form of pedophilic psychopath.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is what most mothers are getting out there.
Yeah.
They're getting their 50-50 on the maintenance.
No,
but then
the 100 in 9 times out of 10 in that instance, it's 100% the financial burden is on the father. Okay.
Yeah.
So
correct, because the mother's gone. In most cases, has gone and bullshit to the court about expenses, and the court has gone, hey, okay, yes, we believe you.
Big crocodile tears. Don't
Exactly.
forget about that.
Yeah.
Female manipulation.
All right. It's been used to weaponize.
It has been.
Money is a weapon.
It has absolutely been
Okay.
weaponized.
Let's not say it in any way. right? You want to see, I've heard of cases where it's been told, you want to see your kids more, pay more.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, how is
Money
that?
for time.
How is that even, and I'm going to use French here, how is that even fucking accepted?
Jacques, let me try and extrapolate this for you. Okay. Where the father has reasonable and or at a 50-50 rate of contact with the child, the likelihood of the father complying with his maintenance responsibilities is in the 80 to 90 percentile. Okay? So the higher the rate of contact, the higher the rate of compliance of maintenance, if not more. Okay? The lower the rate of contact the father has with the child, the lower the rate of compliance with maintenance.
It's a fucking joke.
The evidence is there. Surely the dumb people that sit on the benches and these lawyers that go to get a degree in emotional pedophilia and psychologists that get degrees in child abuse from university, surely you should say to yourself, give that father the maximum amount of contact and he will comply with the maintenance. Okay. But here is the thing, on a 50-50 basis, generally speaking, because on a less than 50% rate, you are now responsible for rent, water, light, food, etc., etc. On a 50-50 basis, you spend R1, mommy must spend R1. So what are you actually looking at in general terms of maintenance? School, medical aid, civilian school clothing, extramural activities. When the children are with me, I need a liter of milk. When the children are with mommy, they need a liter of milk.
Correct.
They cancel each other out. Similarly, rent, water, light.
It doesn't happen that way.
Doesn't happen that
No.
way. Okay.
Even in school holidays. School holidays, the kids can come to you 50% of the time.
Yeah.
And they buy me 50% of the time in school holidays.
Yeah.
But my maintenance doesn't change.
So, this is the reason that there is a pushback on 50-50, because mommy and her lawyers can't suck you dry for maintenance.
Yeah.
Maintenance, I take a look at the very, 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 very first case that I ever heard. And I was just like, this is not possible. This guy, gross at the time, was 20K a month. He got slapped with a maintenance bill of 25K. Okay, so his gross income before deductions was 20K. His maintenance was 25. 2,000 Rand for nails, 2,000 Rand for hair, 2,000 Rand for clothing, 2,000 Rand for magazines. And I can't remember what, but it totaled 12,000 of that 25K had nothing to do with the maintenance of the child.
With the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the resentment that fathers sit with. How many fathers do I have that come to me? They literally are living in their car where there's a repossession order on it. You go around and you'll see guys in cars outside at the back of garages because they're sleeping there for the night because they've got nowhere else. Their entire life is in that car. What you do, you open up the boot and the back seat, it's clothes and files of their fight to have a relationship with their children. So this guy, how many fathers do I talk to that the maintenance sits at 60, 70, 120% of their salary? It's a common occurrence. Okay? And they are couch surfing from friend to friend because they've got nowhere to go, or they've had to move back into mommy and daddy's home. And now all of a sudden, no, he's a mommy's boy. He stays at mommy's house.
What actually happens to fathers who generally can't afford it? Is there any empathy in the system?
They could give less than a shit.
Okay.
So what happened was, so fathers are to blame for a portion of this. Okay. When there's a maintenance hearing, they run away from it instead of going and explaining their situation. Okay. But what has happened is that circa late November, December of last year, the Department of Justice and the Public Prosecutor came out and they said they are now going to target those fathers that have the financial wherewithal to pay maintenance and are refusing to pay maintenance. I'm saying, be my guest. If you've got the financial wherewithal,
You should be looking after the responsibilities of the kids. Simple.
Simple. I'm not arguing that point, but I said, watch this space. This is going to be weaponized. And what the fuck is happening? It's been absolutely weaponized. Garnishing orders have gone through the roof. I mean, like, did we know about garnishing orders pre the end of last year? Yes, we knew about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Gone through the roof. Okay. So we have, and I'm not going to get into the garbage politics of South Africa, etc., but we have a garbage economy. Depending on who you're speaking to, you're sitting with figures of between 35 and 60% of the population is unemployed. So somewhere between 4 out of 10 and 6 out of 10 people in South Africa are unemployed. Now so now what they're saying is that they're targeting those fathers. If those fathers don't comply, they get arrested and they go to jail.
Yeah.
Great thinking, Batman. Wonderful.
He's still not going to be able to pay the maintenance.
He's not going to be able to pay the maintenance, and he's going to come out with a criminal record afterwards. Wonderful thinking, chaps.
How do you get a job now to pay the maintenance?
Yeah, how's he going to get a job now with a criminal record on his name? Great thinking, Batman.
Over and above the wife who you were married to or didn't get married to or had the kid with. Great thinking on your side too.
Yeah, wonderful.
Because you're encouraging all of this. Let's just say it as it is.
And I mean, like the thing is that if you have a look at the law, maintenance doesn't equal contact doesn't equal
Yes, it's two separate things.
It's two separate things.
Maintenance
but by God,
and parental responsibilities are two central. Well, to see not parental responsibilities, wrong word used. Visitation on the kids is two different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like.
Sorry, can I just cut you for 2 seconds? Can you just move the mic? Yeah, please.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. I saw you've moved up in our heated conversations.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, maintenance in South Africa has been weaponized to a nuclear degree. And you've already got a problem of resentment by men that are not seeing their children already. Now you're just going to take it and exacerbate the situation.
Yeah.
Typical fucking stupid politicians and government officials not thinking it through. Give 50-50 contact. The vast majorities of fathers will comply or exceed their maintenance responsibilities.
Exactly.
Because you know what? Guess what? Little Johnny's coming in. He's running around in a screwed up pair of tackies. Let me go and get him. What father wants his child to be running around in screwed up tackies when he, even if he doesn't have the wherewithal, he will make a plan. I don't see what goes on. I don't go into the fridge and see what's in the fridge. I don't know if there's food in that fridge.
Yeah.
Father comes home, the fridge is empty. Guess what? He'll make a plan. He'll go and fix a buddy's car, get a bit of payment, go and...
Yeah, we make plans.
Boer maak 'n plan. A father makes a plan.
Yeah, for sure. Should there be penalties for false maintenance claims or financial manipulation? Because there's not. There's no penalties to the woman. Do you feel there should, and I know your answer to it, should there be penalties and what should they be? And should the justice system have penalties for false maintenance claims? Because I'm sure they're all false maintenance claims when they start off.
What penalty, the thing is that what penalties what penalties, what needs to be sorted out is, and we live in the 21st century, so my access to your credit records, your PAYE through SARS, etc., if you are clever enough, you have access to those records.
Yeah.
Okay. And the courts actually have access to those records.
Yeah. No, they've got access to every bank statement.
I've
personally seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So
you can't hide a bank account.
Yeah. So you can't hide a bank account. It's very simple. Pull it up on the computer. Oh, mommy earns 10,000 Rand. Daddy earns 10,000 Rand. What we need is, what is the average cost to maintain a child where both parties are earning 10,000 Rand each? What is the average cost? 50% for mom, 50% to dad, or a prorated basis.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that figure should be sitting at around about 30%, but I'm not an actuary. So we need somebody clever to go and say, okay, in order to maintain the child, not mommy, the child, in order to maintain the child, this is what you cost. How many fathers do I talk to that when it comes to maintenance, mommy goes and loses her job? You know? So guess what? Then 100% of the maintenance falls to daddy.
Yeah, because she doesn't have an income.
She doesn't have an income.
We put in brackets around
Yeah.
it.
And it's standard operating procedure where we do need specific things around punitive action, definitely around perjury, false allegations, and parental alienation. And I'm saying perjury or false allegations where they are found to be wanting, automatic. So the Perjury Act allows for a fine, 5 to 10 year prison sentence. I'm saying the person, along with his or her lawyer, must automatically be charged with perjury, and that the judge or the magistrate doesn't have the discretion in applying the law, and it must be automatic. And the interviewer asked me last night, and she said, you know, she disagrees with that. And
why?
Yeah, because guess who the vast majority of people would be going to prison? It's mommy and her lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying that men don't do it, but the vast majority of it is women. Okay, how is that in the best interest of the child? So you are saying that I can go out and make false allegations about you, have no consequences, destroy your life,
and that's in the best interest of the child.
And that's in the best interest of the child. So I'm saying it only has to happen once for the message to get out there. Okay. Because and I'm saying to you, it is in the best interest of the child to send that parent to jail for false allegations, because eventually like if I as a lawyer, okay, as useless as they are, I'm going to lose my job because you are making false allegations. Guess what, lady? There's the door. I'm not interested in
I'm not going to encourage you.
I'm not going to encourage you.
Which right now it's encouraged.
Yeah, because it's actively encouraged. Lawyers do tell mothers, and how do we know this? Because I've spoken to hundreds, if not thousands of mothers, where the lawyers and the family have advised her to make false allegations, because the vast majority of dads, by the time they've wiped the shit out of their eyes, it's 18 months, 2 years down the line, and then mommy's lawyer's pet appointed psychologist turns around and says, you as the father, bearing in mind that I've got a restraining order against me, you as the father have not bothered to maintain contact with the child. We will now phase your contact over the next year, 18 months, 2 years, at your cost. Where was the phasing out of the contact with the child?
Yeah.
Okay? And the other thing that absolutely parental alienation syndrome, which was originally known as malicious divorced mother syndrome, okay? And there's now a new term out, is the hysterical mother syndrome. The hysterical mother syndrome are these psychotic women that just go completely off the wall, and they're saying, is this a prelude to parental alienation? Okay. The vast majority of it is perpetrated by women. Why doesn't the government want to do anything about it? Because it doesn't meet their woke feminazi DEI garbage. They're happy for children to be abused if it's the woman.
Yeah.
God forbid you don't pay your maintenance.
And I feel parental alienation is abuse, as you've said it.
It is the emotional, psychological, physical, mental, sexual coercion, blackmail, intimidation, abuse of a child to destroy, sever, and alienate a child from a loving, caring parent. It is child abuse, okay? And it must be classified as child abuse. And I'm saying the parent, along with his or her lawyer that perpetrates parental alienation, must automatically be charged and imprisoned for child abuse. The professionals must lose their right to practice their particular profession. And I'm saying a 10 million rand fine. That must go towards taking care of the child and healing the child and the relationship between child and the alienated parent.
So,
And once again, sorry, it must be automatic, and the lawyer and the judges must have no discretion in applying the law.
when this parent alienation happens and the child is brainwashed against one parent, how do you actually heal a child from that?
You don't.
Like, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, how do you actually heal a child from that? Because the child has spent, let's call it, when they become 16 or 18, to realize it's happened. This is what I've believed for 18 years, that my dad abandoned me, when he didn't abandon me.
Yeah.
I believed he did, but he didn't. Like, how do you heal a child from that?
So there's only, generally speaking, there's only one of two possibilities that can arise out of this. Is that child will go on and get into another abusive relationship, and they will then be alienated from their children, or you will become an alienator yourself. They can scientifically prove with brain scans, this came out in about 2015, they can scientifically prove the damage when they do the scans. They can scientifically prove the damage that is done to a child through brain scans, through parental alienation.
Fuck, mothers, you need to stop that. And yes, I'm sure there's fathers that do the same thing.
Yeah,
okay,
look,
and I want all mothers listening to this. We're not picking on all of you.
Yeah.
There are, like you called them, deadbeat dads. I'm going to say it different. There are dicks.
Arseholes.
Arseholes for dads out there. I know one. Okay,
Yeah.
I know one.
Look,
In my family, there is a dad out there who is a dick, all right, and doesn't see his child, okay? So they are there.
yeah.
But unfortunately, the vast majority, dads want to spend time with their, do not alienate the dad from the child.
Yeah. You know, Jacques, I mean, like, I can talk to dads, and I mean, like, you get the spectrum. So, like, sit there and I listen to these dads, and I like sit back and say to myself, and you wonder why your wife or your girlfriend left you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's something that I've learned to pick up. I've picked it up over the years. And, you know, and guess what? I'll send them through to the mediation department or the litigation department, and they confirm what I already know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's why women become bitter when they separate, I don't know. I haven't figured that one out. But, you know, ladies, you've got to stop. You've got to, you know, either get back into a relationship with that man
And sort your shit out.
Or guess what? Let him go and live his life. Okay, and that is the other thing.
I love that, actually.
You know, and here is the thing is that when I get phone called by a girlfriend or a wife, I can tell you now that relationship is on already, that new relationship is already on Skid's Row, because you may as well as the ex-boyfriend or husband of girlfriend or wife, you may as well go and have an affair, because that is the net effect that is happening on your new relationship. So going out and getting involved in a new relationship until your shit is sorted out with mommy, you're wasting your time. All you're doing is you are putting the cycle on for another spin through the shit.
Yeah.
It's not so. By the time the new girlfriend or the new wife phones me, that relationship is fucked, because
The grass is not greener.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that girlfriend or wife are sick to death of another woman interfering in her relationship. A woman wants to be treated like a queen. She wants her position next to her king as the queen. But some other fucking arsehole is usurped her role of being the queen that wants to see her king destroyed.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you now, you guys are, look, I know that women are lacquer. They are very lacquer because I got into a world of shit because I know they're so lacquer. But you are picking a rod to beat yourself with by getting into a new relationship and expecting it to work when you haven't finalized your previous relationship. You as the man must sort your shit out before you get into a new relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because if your shit's not sorted out, it's just going to be, like you said, a hamster wheel that just keeps turning. And you're going to go through this all the time.
Yeah.
And psychologically, it's going to fuck you up,
Yeah.
etc. I want to talk about our friends quickly because we're running out of time.
No.
The attorneys, advocates, lawyers, attorneys, whatever you want to call them. Do you ever feel that a man is bullied by his... Have you ever come across situations? Have you ever come across situations where a man is bullied by his own attorney?
Let me tell you how it works. Your attorney, not mine, your attorney.
So we're in a fight together.
Yeah.
My attorney that's representing me.
Your attorney has picked up the phone and phoned my attorney, okay, and said, what is the value of this account to the two of us? How long can we keep these two fucking idiots in a constant state of conflict? And what is the maximum amount of money that we can make out of it? Bottom line.
Okay, so we know that now.
Yeah.
Okay, and I wanted you to say that. So everyone listening to this podcast hears that. Okay. You take them up on that. What do they say to you? We're just following the law. What do you say to them?
So
they claim they're just following the law.
Okay, so the Judas Priest response, or the Judas response is, I took instruction from you. Let me put that in perspective for you. I need brain surgery. Okay, bearing in mind that I'm going to be anesthetized, how can I give you instruction as the brain surgeon to perform surgery that I know fucking nothing about?
Yeah.
Okay, to perform that brain surgery, how can I give you as the brain surgeon instruction? I'm saying that until the sword of Damocles hangs over lawyers, advocates, psychologists, social welfare workers, that they have got very restricted timelines under which they conduct themselves, that they must, I walk in and I say, I've got a problem with mommy, stop the bus, what is mommy's number, or do you know mommy's lawyer's contact details? Joe Bloggs has just walked into my office, we've got 90 days to resolve this, mediation, but there's allegations of abuse. Great. Within that 90 days, I'm saying that within 14 days, those allegations must be investigated and the necessary action must be taken. I'm saying that the Domestic Violence Act must change, that it must have specifically quantifiable, measurable, defined, provable, with evidence of violence, abuse, or neglect before a case can be taken forward. Zero of that, cheers, goodbye. And even in that 14 days is not a reason to stop the contact between the child and the abuser. The only thing that I'm saying is that contact must be supervised until proven otherwise. False allegations, automatic, perjury charge, judge or magistrate does not have the ability, does not have the discretion not to apply the law. And until you have very prescriptive conduct code, not conduct law for lawyers, advocates, psychologists, social welfare workers, this is going to carry on. Give you an example. Did we know about forensic psychological evaluations 20 years ago? Yeah, it was spoken about. How many guys have gone on 2, 3, 5 forensic psychological evaluations at a cost of anything between 50 and 200, 300,000 rand? What are you going to do? You're trying to make me go insane by investigating me?
Yeah. That's exactly what you do.
That's exactly what you're trying to do. And then I get a golden boy, gold star report on what a wonderful guy I am. Mommy's the problem. And guess what? We're now fighting in court 2 years later. And we are in the interim, we've gone for another 2 or 3 investigations. Okay. And guess what? Those investigations are reconfirming the original thing. Sure, at what point do you stop all of this nonsense? The only way, clearly, mediation must be automatically and mandatory. Okay? 50-50 contact care, guardianship, and maintenance from birth, irrelevant of marriage, culture, tradition, religion, other norms and practices. Perjury must have automatic consequences. Parental alienation must have automatic consequences. Lawyers, advocates, psychologists, social welfare workers must be under very prescriptive code of law where they will lose their jobs automatically if they do not comply.
Yeah, like this whole podcast, what I've been hearing is 90%, well, I'm going to say 90%, but let's say 80% of the problem when it comes to divorce, maintenance, parental responsibilities, visitation of kids starts at the fucking attorneys.
The legal justice system requires a winner and loser. I said this earlier.
You said that in the beginning.
Yeah, okay. The legal justice system, like I said at the beginning as well, you're going to a mechanic and asking them to perform brain surgery. It is the wrong professional. It is the wrong forum. It is the wrong place to be handling this. Mediation, where the rules of engagement are clearly defined, is your best possible shot. Yes, the lawyers and the advocates are going to come out and say, oh, you can't make mediation automatically mandatory. It's got to be voluntary. Change the fucking words to alternative dispute resolution. It's the same thing by another name.
Yeah.
Okay? Should one or both of the parties frustrate the mediation process within the confines of the 90 days, it must automatically default to arbitration. The cost is borne either by the person that frustrates it or both parties if they frustrate it. Because I have a de facto point of departure of 50-50 contact care, guardianship and maintenance, what am I going to go and discuss? I'm discussing logistics and I'm discussing maintenance. Maintenance must be within the confines of the earning capacity of both parents. And I'm saying I've guesstimated. Please, this is not official. Let me put that out there because I said... But I'm guesstimating that a 30% of the income of the parent should be apportioned to the maintenance of the children.
Yeah. So that's what you think a fair system looks like, basically.
Jock, I'm no actuary.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
I'm no
it's
economist.
good. For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
But I'm saying that is probably within reason.
Personally, yourself, how do you stay grounded when you see so much pain and injustice every day?
I've got my boys. It's called Brahmana. We go there every Thursday.
You got a community.
It's the Brotherhood of Man. We meet on a Tuesday evening. It's only in Johannesburg at the moment. I do have another very beautiful man, a brother of mine. He comes with extreme compassion and understanding and education. It's just amazing. He's also running a program for parents, for people that need, because psychologists don't work. Let's be blunt about it. They don't.
Yeah.
They just want to put you on a fucking tablet and get you out in their hour. So if you want to, I can send you the information around.
Please do. We'll share it on our social media.
The stuff that goes on a Tuesday night is not for the faint-hearted. This is for guys that have they've drawn a line in the sand and they're saying so far and no further, and they now want to start fixing their shit. This is the program for them. It's a start. It's a journey. This is you just putting your foot on the starting line. It is not for the faint-hearted. But genuinely, it is we have a saying, you can't make this shit up because of the way these guys transform.
Okay.
And I've been doing that particular work for 25 plus years as well. So for me, myself personally, I would love to go away for a year-long trip for the next 20 years. Sit and watch sunsets and have a little tiki shop on the beach selling margaritas, and I'll be the main client. And it becomes soul destroying. You watch humans at their base mentality, and it's like, fuck me, we are not the apex predator that we make ourselves out to be. We are, I don't know, we are all very, very fucked up, far from home as far as I'm.
So, final question, because we're running out of time.
No worries.
How do we balance protecting the children, making sure it's fair for the father and the mother?
Yeah, this is not about taking the children away from the mother.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's not him against her.
It's not even on the table. This is not about removing the child from the mother.
Yeah.
It's about equality.
That's all it's about, and that's the balance.
Yeah.
It's not a fight against him or her. It's about the love, stability for the kids.
Correct.
At the end of the day. Thank you for your time.
No worries.
I love the passion. Okay. Never lose that.
Thank
All right.
you.
I know you want to go sit on an island and drink margaritas, but then still have this passion.
Yeah.
Please hand this passion over one day to someone.
Yeah.
Because Fathers for Justice cannot stop.
No.
Okay. I wish I knew about Fathers for Justice 12, 13 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of money. It would have guided
Rather
me.
give us the money to fucking
It would have guided me. But right now, it went to some attorney, and I got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Like you said. And it can work vice versa. I get it.
Yeah.
We're not here sitting on this podcast today attacking women. Okay? And I hope women listen to this podcast and go, shit, let me not be that woman because I want to get divorced.
So one of the things that has changed in the foster care portion is that they can come and remove children from mothers. And what are we seeing at the moment? I said 18 months, 2 years ago, watch this space. There's going to be an increase of mothers being obliterated. And what are we seeing? I'm getting more and more mothers coming to us. Please, can you help us?
Well, I was actually going to say to you, there should be another organization called Mothers for Justice, where fathers for mother and mothers for justice get together and sort this shit out.
So to put it in perspective for you, the system is already in place for mothers. They don't need a Mothers for Justice.
Okay.
For the vast majority of
it
them,
favors them.
it favors them by default. Is there an increasing problem of mothers being removed out of their children's lives? Yes. Invariably, you'll find that the father is rich, or he comes from money.
And the mother couldn't carry on and afford it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just like the other way around. Eventually fathers give up because they can't afford it anymore. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Yeah. Let's always think of the kids.
Yeah.
And let's not use the kids as weapons. Let's not do that. I think that is the biggest lesson and word we should get out there. The kids aren't your AK-47 to use against the father.
We have to, as a society and as parents and as mothers and fathers, we have to find another way. Because if you have a look at all the social ills, it comes back to this point.
Yeah. Thank you for today. Thank you for your time.
No worries.
I will have you back on this podcast because I think this needs to be spoken about more. There's a lot more that we can talk about this subject.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, an hour is too short with all the podcast. All 21 episodes I've done, an hour is too short.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Stay blessed.
Thank you very much, Shaka.
Thank you.
Appreciate the opportunity.